Hello, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm gonna show you what is the equipment you need in order to have a good experience with hybrid training. So when it came down to hybrid training, there's three main things that we need to cover. If you guys know, hybrid training is a combination between strength training, cardiovascular training. So that's why it's important to have the right equipment in order to have a good experience when you want to approach hybrid training. To make this video organized and easy to understand, I'm going to split this video in three different parts. In part one, we're going to talk about what is equipment that you need for cardio training. In part two, it's going to be the equipment that you need for strength training. And lastly, we're going to also talk about what are the equipment or the tools that you can have for you to take care of your recovery. Because for me, those are the three pillars: cardio, strength, and recovery. Whenever we talk about cardio in a gym, I always like to see a layout like this, where you have multiple pieces of equipment. So based on this layout, I'm gonna show you the 5 pieces of equipment that your gym must have in order for you to have a good experience with cardiovascular training. I will start with the first piece of equipment. These ones are rowers. As you can see here, there's 2 different brands. These ones are the Assault Fitness or Air Rowers, and the other ones back there are the C2 or Concept 2, which in my opinion are a little bit more popular. The ergonomics are a little different between those 2 machines, but the feeling is super similar. So I think these 2 are not just the most popular brands, but like any fitness competition would use, either Assault Fitness or Concept 2. So if your gym has these 2 brands, you're good to go. Alright, this is the second piece of equipment in terms of cardio that I like to see when I step into a new gym. These ones are the Ski Ergs, and this is a great piece of equipment to develop your cardio and also to develop your muscle endurance on your upper body. I'm not gonna lie, the first time I saw this type of machine at the gym, I was like, how am I gonna train cardio using these machines? And the reality is like, it's a great piece of equipment if you want to pair this with an upper body day. So if you see this machine at your gym, go ahead, give it a try. And it takes a little bit of time to actually do it on the right way, or to develop like paces and all this stuff related with cardiovascular training. But when you master this piece, it's a really fun piece of equipment to use. This is the third piece of equipment that if you wanna train hybrid, you need to have access to. This is the Assault Bike or Air Bike, and I hate this thing because it makes you realize how unfit you are. No matter how much training you have, how much experience, this is always going to be really hard. Doing intervals and this thing is one of the best things for your body, but at the same time it feels horrible. So if you're trying to go into hybrid training and you don't have access to this because your gym just doesn't have it, start looking for a different gym, because this is a staple and you need to have access to this in order to develop your cardiovascular system. Alright, these ones right here are really cool. These ones are the Concept 2 Bike Ergs, and think about this as a spin bike like Pelotons. So with these ones, you can also work on intervals. I would say these ones are not as nasty as the air bikes that I mentioned before, but training Zone 2 training with these ones are incredible, beneficial for you. And also you can have a really hard workouts with this one. These ones have the same damper that the rowers has, so you can increase the resistance when you pedal. And yeah, there's a very good piece of equipment that I would say your gym must to have as well. Alright, you probably know what I'm doing here. This is by far the most underrated piece of equipment to train your cardio. For me, this machine is capable of maintaining your heart rate and in a specific range for a long period of time. And just by increasing the speed by 1 notch or putting it down by 2, you can control your heart rate really well. So if you're trying to train Zone 2 or easy cardio, this machine right here is by far the best option for you. So don't sleep on these things. Stepmaster because it's just great. Whenever you have this like 1 hour or 45 minutes on two, just step into this, put your iPad, play the movie, and you're gonna have all the Sun 2 training you need. And now we're getting into this beautiful machine. This is the Assault Runner, and as you can see, it doesn't move if I don't move. So that means I'm the one who decided how fast I need to go, as opposed to the other runner machines where you have to kind of like program the speed. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nothing wrong with that. It's just this one will mimic real running scenario way better. So if you have access to this type of machine at your gym, you know, then you are in a good badass gym. Or, you know, like the best scenario will be like going outside, but like sometimes it's raining or there's snow or it's too hot. And how do you train for it? So in this ones you can do intervals, you can do like long runs. So it is a really good piece of equipment that I would say if you're trying to train hybrid, your gym must have. All right, this is the other option that you can also use. This is a classic running machine where you can literally set it up the speed here and program workouts and all that stuff. But I mean, this is a nice option as well, but it's not the best option. I always would rather to do the Assault Runner, the one that I showed you before, better than this one, because it's just better. If you know, you know. All right, there you have it. Those are the 5 pieces of equipment that you need in order to develop your cardiovascular training: the air runner, the rower, the ski, the air bike, and the Concept 2 bike. With those 5 pieces of equipment, you're good to go. All right, now we're getting into resistance training or lifting. And I would say by far, this is the most important piece of equipment when we talk about resistance training: a barbell and a rack. Just with this, literally, I would say you're good to go. But really, so having a barbell and a rack is super important if you want to develop strength, power, hypertrophy. Like everything is possible with this piece of equipment. So if you step into the gym and your gym just have one rack with one barbell, that is one of the biggest red flag if you wanted to do hybrid training. This gym have about, I think it's like 5 or 6 platforms, and they have bumper plates. So this gym is like, it's good for strength training. And as you see before, all the cardio training before. So a rack is a must, and a barbell is a must as well. I don't know if you can see here, but this is something that it will be nice to have. It's fine if your gym doesn't have it, but this one is a safety bar, which is really good to do squats, because some people is, you know, their mobility is not good enough. But the safety bar is a really good piece of equipment. It's convenient. This one is a trap bar for deadlift. And also it's a nice to have. Like I said before, if you have a regular barbell, you pretty much can do everything, but these ones are more like a specialty barbells that is nice to have at the gym. This one is, I don't know if you can see it here, but it's a multi-grip bench press barbell where you have like different type of grips and you place it on the rack, and it target different group of muscles in your chest. So pretty convenient as well. These ones are, like I said before, specialty bars and nice to have. All right, and now we get into this little rack in here. We got kettlebells and dumbbells in this ones. So we got all the way from 8 pounds to that's 88 pounds. I think there's one with 100 pounds in there, and there's kettlebells as well. I think they go until like 60 pounds or something. But yeah, this one are kind of like made out of rubber. These dumbbells, because are meant to be for kind of like a workout. So if you're trying to get into hybrid training, these 2 pieces of equipment are a must. You need to have access to this. This one is going to help you to train unilateral, hit workouts where you can improve your muscle endurance, like literally do a lot of things with these two pieces of equipment. As important as the barbell that I showed you before, these ones are super important. So if your gym doesn't have these two, there's a big red flag as well. All right, and here we got the boxes. These ones are different sizes. We got 12, 6, 24. These ones I think are like 12 as well. But what is important here is like there's different heights for you to work with different type of like plyometric training. So whatever you do with these boxes is work on plyometrics, work on power, and if you wanted to get into hybrid training, this one is a must. So if your gym doesn't have any of these boxes or like at least one box, that is a red flag as well. So check for these ones. That will make your training way more dynamic and fun. And now we got the medicine balls. This one's over here. This gym doesn't have too many, but they have the ones that you need, 14 and 20 pounds. I believe there's some 8 pounds and I think 30 pounds out there, but again, those are nice to have. The must to have, 14 and 20 pounds. These ones, if you're getting into any type of hybrid training competition, those are a must to have. So if you ever go to the gym and you don't see those, there's another red flag. All right, now we have this piece of equipment, and you might wonder what piece of equipment. All these things back here. This one is super helpful if you're trying to use, if you're trying to do some body weight exercise, such pull-ups, bar dips, or stuff like that, then you need this type of rack. So if you see here, we got a couple accessories like rings to do ring dips or even ring muscle ups, whatever you are into it. But I will say if you trying to get into hybrid training, your gym need to have some sort of like rack situation to make your training super functional. I don't know if you can see behind me, but this gym have an area with machines. So when it came down to machines, having all these piece of equipments on the back, I'm not gonna go one by one, but it's a must. You must have lower body machines, upper body machines, pushing, pulling machines, where you can isolate muscles and literally working on strength, working on increasing muscle mass, because being a hybrid athlete involves not just have like a good cardiovascular training or being strong, but also build muscle in order to handle all these workouts and all the modality that you are going to put your body through. All right, so have you noticed there's just a couple things that your gym must have for resistance training? Yes, there's a little bit more than cardio, but it's super important, like barbell, dumbbells. Oh, I forgot about that piece of equipment. I don't know if you can see it back there. It's literally right next to the air runners. Those are sled, and with this you do a sled push and sled pull, and those are super convenient as well. So I'll say those, I won't consider those as a must, but it's really nice to have those things. This gym have a lot of things that are nice to have, which is fine, but the most important is those pieces of equipment that are gonna give you the more opportunities to develop like strength, hypertrophy, and overall muscle growth. So if you're trying to get into hybrid training. All right, so because we talk about a lot about cardio, a lot about strength training, what are the things that you need? Now the next pillar is recovery, because you're gonna be training and all these modalities, your body needs to recover. So I would say the most basic piece of equipment that your gym needs in order to work a little bit into recovery will be these little things, foam rollers. So if your gym doesn't have any foam rollers, like, let me tell you, that's the basic. Like every single gym must have foam rollers. So if you can see here, there's some of them bands, so you can work on mobility, work on your recovery to maintain your joints healthy. So the type of equipment you need to work on recovery is, it's kind of like a specialty things. Most people will have that type of equipment at home, but being able to have access to some of the good recovery tools is important, especially, you know, if you're paying for a membership at the gym. Here's one of my favorite things of this gym. This gym have like a station for recovery with Theragun. So this one, if you know, you know, this one is literally when you're sore, you use these things and it's not gonna get you like good without soreness or anything, but you're gonna feel good to go. Like, it's a big help to have these ones available on the floor at the gym 24/7 if you need it, right? So this gym has this. This is a nice to have. I'm not expecting every single gym having those things, but this one, I mean, this one has it, and that's cool. These ones are foam rollers as well, but this one's kind of like vibrate a little bit. So they're more like, it's a different feeling, but at the end of the day, it's exactly the same. It's for soreness, to prep your muscles, and why not? Okay, I'm gonna show you one of the coolest things about this gym. This gym have, I don't know if you can see here, yes. So this is cold plunge, and the temperature of the water is 42, so it's really fucking cold. I try to do this just one per week. Ideally, you should be doing this every time that your training sessions are super hard. So the fact that this gym have access to cold plunges is like really good. So I would say at this point, at least here in Austin, Texas, this is a must. Like pretty much every single gym then you go around Austin have cold plunges. So for me, this is a must. Cold plunges in Austin, Texas is a must. All right, I don't know if you can see it, but this one is an infrared sauna, and this one is another nice to have. So this one doesn't go as hot as the other one that I'm gonna show you in a little bit, but sometimes I like to come over and just do like 15 minutes on this one. I think the highest temperature on this one is 175, and it is pretty nice. Look, take a look. So this one, it is an infrared sauna. So this one is another nice to have at your gym. And lastly, this one is a barrel sauna. This one goes, I think, around 180, 190 or something like that. It's hot. I like to combine that one with the cold plunges, and it's really nice to have like this type of like equipment available for you so you can work on your recovery after you hit these hybrid training sessions. So if you have this at your gym, this is super convenient. So for recovery at this gym, we have infrared sauna, barrel sauna, and the cold plunges as well. And I don't know if you can see it because it's a little dark in here, but these ones are compression boots. I don't know if you can really see it, but these ones are the ones that you place on your legs and you just let it there. It kind of like apply pressure and make you feel like brand new, to be honest. So there you have it. Those are the tools that I have available in order to recover when it came down to my hybrid training sessions. Again, cardio, resistance training, and recovery for me are the important things when it came down to hybrid training, and that's why I show you the piece of equipment that I think that your gym must have if you want to really have a good experience with hybrid training. If you like this video, just go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe so I can create more content like this for you. You have a good one, and I'll see you guys on the next one.